Welcome back to another episode of Harmonious at Lunch, the show that fuels your business success. I'm Brandon Gano, your host and guide through the world of harmonious business growth. Today, we're unlocking powerful strategies with industry experts to help your business thrive. If you're a business owner, entrepreneur, or executive, you are in the right place. Join me and our incredible guests today on the journey to clarity, growth, and success. It is time to revolutionize your approach to business. Let's dive in with another episode of Harmonious at Lunch. Welcome back to some more bite-sized business advice. In today's episode, I'm pretty sure we got a good one lined up. Our guest gets over 4 million organic views on social media every single month, and he says he can tell you how to do the same thing. I'm ready to hear that. I'm very excited. Matt Diamante, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. That's quite the intro. And I just want to say that is only on Instagram. That doesn't include TikTok or any other platform. So
Wow. Okay.
it's wild. And I'm not saying this to brag. I'm saying this to help people. And
No, I think you just bragged a little bit. That's quite impressive. I'm not gonna lie. Wait, so then what is the? I'm sorry for misspeaking. First of all, what's the total number? Is it much bigger than that?
I don't know. Like, I don't look at all of the numbers. Instagram's my biggest platform, so I know those numbers. And Instagram shows it to you right at the dashboard. I'm sure I could open up my phone right now and look at TikTok.
Yeah, well, all right, correction. Since we don't edit these episodes, over 4 million views on Instagram alone, which I mean that in itself is incredible, and I can probably guarantee you none of our listeners can say that, but it's not a bad thing because it's hard to do. So
I can't say it yet.
Yeah, yet. After this episode, maybe a different story. We'll see. That's a big claim to put on a 15-minute episode, but we're going to do our best. So let's dive in. Let's talk about that. We had a guest yesterday's show, actually, where we talked about podcasts, using podcasts as a branding tool to grow your audience, grow your reach on social media, and grow the reach of your business. Today, we're talking about how to use social media. So not that they're conflicting, but I really am curious to hear both sides of this story. Most people that I talk to shy away from just social media because it is so hard to crack the code. And they go more towards podcasting. You're saying you have a way to do it. So why don't we kick that off and say, where did you start with social media before you were getting 4 million views a month on Instagram?
Well, let me just say this. I'm also on podcasts. I'm on your podcast right now. So you can do both, right? You can do all of it. And a lot of people have been saying this online, a lot of marketers in the last couple of months, the last maybe year. You want to try to be everywhere you possibly can, because the more platforms you're on, the more people can find you, the bigger your business can potentially grow. So podcasts are just another avenue to do that. So your question was, where was I before I started posting on social media? So I run a digital marketing agency called Hey Tony. And until early 2023, I was a referral only business, meaning I couldn't tell, excuse me. I couldn't project if I was going to be getting more business, more revenue, if I need to hire people or let people go or get freelancers, whatever it might be. And I was like, I don't like that idea of, depending on other people to refer you. And then, maybe it's months or years later, and then something comes in. Some months you're like, cool, I'm making $20,000. That's amazing. Other months you're like, wow, I just made 10 grand and I have 3 employees to pay and I can't afford, to do anything. And I didn't really like that inconsistency. So my solution that I came up with, I read 2 books in early 2023. The first, or I say early, in January 2023, like very beginning of the year, because I wanted something to change. Right over the holidays, I was, doing SEO. I was doing a whole bunch of stuff, and I was like, I need to add something else. I need to do everything I possibly can to change my situation. And the 2 books that I read were Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk. I'm sure we all know who Gary Vee is at this point. And if you don't, go check him out. He's very inspirational, very motivational. It's really great. But that was a book about social media and how you can literally use it to, reach people for free. And it is a little bit dated, I will say, but the concept still holds. Then the other book is called The One Thing. So the one thing is basically, what is one thing you could do every single day to meet your 1 year, 5 year, 10-year goal, right? And reading both those books kind of back to back, kind of at the same time, I was like, oh, one thing I can do every single day is write or not, oh my god, I almost said write a piece of content, film a video and post it on social media on like every platform that I can, the exact same video. And I did that for 6 months. The first 3 months I posted one video every single day. And part of it was an experiment because I wanted to either, we hear these like these motivational, inspirational guys, girls, people online all the time be like, if you just do this, you'll be successful. And most of the time you're like, that's bullshit. Fuck you. Right. So that was kind of my challenge for myself. I was like, I'm either going to prove these guys right or I'm going to prove them wrong. And either way, I'm going to be happy with the result, but I'm going to give it a year, 12 months, 365 days. So I started first 3 months, posted one video every single day. Nothing really was happening. And I was like, dang, like I need to cut my learning curve. I need to take more swings. And, each video is basically a swing at the algorithm trying to figure that out. So I started posting 3 times a day, about 3 months in, and they were all reels, all videos, and, TikToks, whatever. So I started posting 3 new pieces of content every single day. And I did that for another 3 months. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to throw in the towel. It's been 6 months. I have 1,500 followers, which is like, that's a lot of people, but that's not the result that I was looking for. And I was like, okay, this doesn't really work out, but I'm committed to doing it for a year. So I'm just going to go through the motions. I'm going to finish off the year. And about a week later, I had my first video go viral, million views. I went from 1,500 to 15,000 followers in a week. And I was like, that's it. I've made it. um, and then I kept posting 3 videos a day until the end of the year. And by the end of the year, I had over 100,000 followers. And that was beginning of 2024. Let's say I had like over 100,000 followers. We're now in 2025. I'm rounding hopefully 300,000 followers in the next month or two.
That's incredible. And this is Instagram, right?
That's on Instagram. That's the biggest platform for me. I think on TikTok, I'm around like 55,000 followers there too.
Now, because I've heard other people say that, and even though you're taking the same video and copying and pasting essentially on all the platforms,
Yep.
have you found that some platforms just don't perform for you and they're not even worth posting on?
Oh my God, I hate LinkedIn. I can't figure LinkedIn out. Not that it's necessarily the best platform, but I feel like there's some credibility that comes with there as well because it is a little bit more difficult to gain that following. I think I'm on LinkedIn. I'm like where I was 2 years ago on Instagram, like 1,500 followers, something like that. And the content just doesn't hit there. It's the same audience, but they are expecting different kind of content, right? They want business content. If they like something, somebody else is going to see it in their network.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like a revelation I just had. Like I should post stuff that people would feel comfortable sharing. Because a lot of my social content, like it is helpful. It is good. But like I am unapologetically me in that content. Like I will swear, I will laugh at stupid shit. It's not professional. It's me. Like I'm a professional, but I'm not like corporate professional, if that makes sense.
Which is, I think, the way you should be on all platforms,
Yeah.
LinkedIn included. If you're not going to be yourself, then if people do whatever the call to action is, if they do reach out and talk to you, like, hang on, Matt was all polished and professional, and now he's swearing on a call.
Yeah.
These are two different people. Like, that's just weird.
Oh, my favorite thing is getting on a call with a prospect. By the way, my business did completely turn around. Now we don't do basically any referrals, and it's all people finding me on Instagram and TikTok and all these social platforms. So it has completely transformed my life and my business and the lives of people who are, working at the business and people that, we work with. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's something to be said for when you turn from referral only into actually building out a sales pipeline with reliable traffic because you control
Yeah.
that process and what you put out. That's when businesses can really start to accelerate their growth. But I'm curious about we talked about this before we started recording. You mentioned that you had a formula. I don't want to put words in your mouth that
Yeah.
works a lot but doesn't work every single time, that
Oh,
other
yeah.
people can use to then use this strategy to grow their business, grow their social media reach. So why don't you talk to me
Yeah.
about that a little bit? Because I don't know, man. I haven't figured out social media. I am here as an audience member right now.
Yeah.
I'm so curious to what you're going to say.
Okay, so say this, that I have a formula, not because I've only done this for myself. I've helped other people take content and make it go viral. There was an influencer I worked with just for free, and I actually recorded this whole call, so I can send you that link if you want after. Um, but we look at one of her videos, and I'm like, this has the potential to go viral. You just need to script it differently. You need to say things differently. You need to not use so many words. Use fewer words, get to the point, keep people on the hook, and keep them watching. So my formula basically is I need to keep people watching at least 50% of the video on average, right? So if the video is 30 seconds long, you want people watching 15 seconds. And now it's trending a little bit closer to 20 seconds. If it's a 35-second video, whatever, you can get people up to 20 seconds. Watch time really matters right now. So it's that in a combination with how much engagement you're getting or your engagement rate. So it's just like the total interactions on that piece of content divided by, or is it the total views divided by the interactions? One of those, whatever that formula is. So I know if I have 1,000 views and I have 100 interactions, I'm like, that's 10%. Right. So just like rough math with that kind of stuff. And if you can keep above 10% engagement with 50% plus watch time on average, you are going to, hit, and it's going to hit the algorithm and you're going to get a ton of views. Not every time, it doesn't always work. But it all starts with a hook. I'm sure we've all heard about the infamous hook at the beginning of a video. So what is a hook exactly, right? There's like the visual hook, something's happening on the screen, people want to keep watching past like the 3 to 4 second mark. There's what you're saying, and there could also just be text on top of, overlaid on the screen, whatever, giving a little bit more information about what somebody's about to watch, or, kind of like piquing their interest a little bit. So the first step, you have to hook people in, right? A hook usually involves some sort of stakes or some sort of bet or some sort of story that people just need to keep watching, right? So one of the hooks that did well for me was, oh my god, it was, I shouldn't be doing this on the spot. It was something like, marketers are going to be pissed at me, but I don't care because I'm here for you, not them, right? And then I'm like, here's how to do this, and I think that video has like 6 million views or something like that, or 5.9, somewhere like that. And it's just, I'm saying people are going to be pissed at me for showing you this, so you better watch, without saying all those words. Or I convinced this business to give me $20,000 and they were not impressed with the results, right? And people were like, oh shit, what did you do? And then I go through, I'm like, month 1, we only got them, an extra 10 visitors to their website. And then it cuts to me going, I really didn't want to give back the 20 grand, right? So it's just like keeping people going, keeping people watching the video. That's basically it. That's the formula.
I mean, it sounds logical and simple, right? So why are more people not doing this? Like, do we really mess up that bad on the hooks of videos that we just scare people away? It's that simple. Yes, we do.
It is that simple. And I think part of it is people don't post enough content. So they're like, this has to be really good, but they don't actually spend that much time on writing the hook. Like I would say not almost every single video that I post now, I have written down on like the notepad on my computer, like, here's the hook. Here's the first idea that I have, right? And from that, I'll take that hook and write like 20 different versions of it. And I'm like, how can I say all of this with fewer words and there be some stakes to it? Have like an intrigue that people want to watch, want to learn more. And it, like, it doesn't always work. The algorithm updates and then all of a sudden something changes and you're like, dang, okay, I have to like slightly change the way that I'm doing my content. Maybe I need to be more animated. Maybe I need to switch every 2 seconds. I'm saying the next line in a different room or from a different angle, or I'm like running down the street, or I'm like crawling out of a box, right? So people's attention spans change. The content that people are creating changes. People are getting way more I don't know, animated in their content. And I mean, people have been doing that for years, but people just get crazier and crazier. So you have to keep up a little bit, especially if you're like doing business to business or like your informational content or educational.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you next, because so the audience is business owners, entrepreneurs, and I think we've all scrolled on social media enough, maybe too much. That's a topic for a different
Yeah.
day. But we know what a viral video is. We know what a hook is. But a lot of the times, the videos that come to your head when you think about a video going viral with a really good hook, it's nonsense. They're just putting it
Yeah.
out to get views and then make money from it somehow. It's not B2B content.
Yeah.
So as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, how do you take what could seemingly be a boring product or service and start to craft these hooks, think in a more creative way? Like you're talking about your content for your digital marketing agency. I mean,
Yeah.
no offense, I think you would agree with me that could be boring sometimes. Like, how do
I'm like,
you
have you read
get
anything
through it?
about SEO? Have you watched any
Exactly.
SEO videos? It is the most boring topic. And since I started posting on social media, I've gotten countless emails from people saying things like, "You made SEO fun. I'm really excited to
Mhm.
do SEO." And I'm like, that's crazy. I've never like I'm excited about it. Clearly, I love it, but I never thought that these videos would transfer that kind of fun, loving emotion, whatever, towards SEO to other people. It's wild. So yes, like you can, and this is the thing that people say all the time, like, oh, well, LinkedIn's the B2B platform. I'm like, no, literally every platform is a B2B platform. Where do you think, John Smith hangs out when he's not on LinkedIn? He's probably scrolling Instagram, looking at stupid memes, sending, memes to his buddy's golf group chat. And it's like, how do you inject yourself into that? I had a conversation last week with a 9-figure company, like a massive company, who was like, my CMO or whatever that person is, was like, I didn't talk to the CMO. I talked to somebody else on the team, but they were like, my CMO said that I have to talk to you and we have to hire you to do SEO. And I was like, so wait, like how big is this company? Like, asking all these questions. I'm like, I need to make a video about this. So I got that information, but I'm just like, that's where people hang out, right? And it's business to business. Like, yes, I am making content that is, it's authentically me. I'm giving tips. I am actually helping small business owners, and those are my favorite people to help and work with, because you can truly change somebody's life if you can help them grow their business.
Yeah, I agree with that. The other kind of question or pushback I'm sure you get a ton of
Yeah.
is you say you're posting 3 videos a day, doing
Yep.
it every day for 6
Hmm.
months to a year. Kind of sounds like a full-time job, Matt. I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. So how as a business owner, how can we manage that? Do you have a system or a process that you follow that makes it really simple, or how much time can we expect to really have to put into this?
So there's a lot of people who say, just batch your content, take 1 or 2 days off from your job per month or whatever, make 30 videos or make as many videos as you possibly can. I don't like doing that. I, in fact, hate doing that. I tried doing that a couple months ago, did not work out for me. I was dreading those 2 days. I'm like, oh, I have to be like, quote unquote, on all day. I have a camera, like the camera's my phone, right? And it's me recording
Mhm.
this stuff. Or like my wife, I'm like, hey, can you help me film this video? Uh, like you like be under the couch or like whatever it is. And I just really didn't like those days. And what I found to be the most useful thing is if I can show up consistently every single day, it is so much quicker for me to script, like come up with an idea, script a video, film and edit the video than it is for me to batch all my content. Right. And there are some days now where if I'm traveling all day, I might not post a piece of content, or I might post something at the airport because it's totally different. Right. Or from the car or whatever it might be. But the more you flex that muscle, the stronger that muscle gets and the easier it is to create content. And you learn some new skills along the way as well. Like for me, when I first started doing these videos, it's like internal linking is the process of linking from one page on your website to another page on your website. And, saying like, oh, what do you do for work? Oh, I do SEO. And now I'm like, I help businesses show up higher on Google. And you know what? My parents love that. I can tell them that because they had no idea what I did for a decade. Right? Like, what does your son do? Oh, he helps businesses show up higher on Google. Great. They don't need all the technical shit.
Yeah, you simplify getting in the habit of doing it yourself helps you simplify that message for other
Yeah.
people, it sounds like, which is
Well, so
crucial.
I'm writing, or I wrote a book about SEO and I'm editing it right now. And actually, just before this call, I was working on the section about readability and understandability. And the quote that I like live by now is, "It is dumb not to dumb it down."
That's a cool
The
quote.
the easier your content is to understand, or your message is to understand, the wider net you're casting and the more people you could potentially bring into your business.
Man, I love that. So we didn't even touch the SEO side of things, which I wanted to, but this in and of itself is super cool. But without going there, on the video side, the worst thing I think people can do is start and then stop. And I've seen people do that over and over. I know I've done that myself with both social media, with other things. If you were to say, okay, you're a small business owner, you're an entrepreneur, the people listening to this show, right? What is a sustainable habit they can get into and then scale up from there, rather than just trying to go with 3 videos a day on 8 platforms for the next 6 months?
Show up every day, at least 1 video every single day. And I know that is a lot and it sounds like a lot, but you will see the most growth when you show up consistently for yourself and for your business. And I just want to add that, guys, social media is free. Like, I'm getting those 4 million whatever views per month for free. 4 million people know about my business and know my face every single month for free. Do I need to say it again? It's all free.
Say it again, because it's really cool.
Yeah, it's just insane when people come to me and they're like, well, nothing is working. And I'm like, well, what are you doing? They're like, well, I'm not doing anything. And I'm like, well, that's why nothing is working. Or,
well, nothing is working. You're doing nothing and it's working.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I'm working with a social media agency and they're going to do all my posts. Fuck that. Like, I despise working with a social media agency. Like, I used to do it back in the day, and it's just all shit. Like, if you're the business owner and you want to grow the business, you are the person who's going to show up for that business relentlessly, nonstop, right? Nobody else cares about your business the way that you do. Maybe your partner, your wife, your husband, whatever, maybe they care, but they don't care as much as you, right? So if you can show up every single day, you're good for free, guys. You already have the phone. Like, I film everything. I would say, like, not necessarily everything, but like 99.99% of my content on my phone with the front camera. Not even like, I don't turn it around. I don't have a fancy screen on the back or anything. It's just like front camera. Here I am. No microphone most of the time, like in the car, whatever. Just start posting the videos and don't be scared, because if it's a terrible video, guess what? Nobody's going to see it, because the algorithm only pushes out good videos.
Well, there you go. Nothing to slap your confidence in the face like that one. I have no views. It must have really sucked. No, I love it, Matt. This is awesome. Yeah.
Sorry, I feel like we could just like keep chatting for like hours and hours here. You're gonna have to have me back.
We could. I was just gonna say we're gonna have to have you back, because the SEO side of things we didn't even touch, but it's so important, and I'm really curious to hear your take on it. You do actually have a giveaway for the audience, so I'll put that on the screen. You're on Instagram, obviously, so I'll make sure to put that link down in the description below. But where can people learn more about you and how to do this for their business?
Basically, Instagram, the link that you just posted here. So that's my Understanding SEO course. I feel like I should have had some kind of social media free giveaway prepped for this, but unfortunately, like, I don't do social media for other businesses. I'll tell you how to do it, but I firmly believe that every business owner should be doing their own social media and showing up every day.
That's super cool. I love it. Well, the link is on the screen. It's down below in the show notes. Wherever you're watching or listening, all those links are down there. Matt, thank you again for coming. This is a great conversation.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you on tomorrow's episode of Harmonious at Lunch. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Harmonious at Lunch podcast. Make sure you subscribe on whatever platform you're on, and we want to invite you to join us in the Small Business Success Facebook group, our private group where guests and listeners come together to grow your business. We want impact-driven entrepreneurs who are ready to go to the next level in this group, so we can all share ideas, collaborate, and grow our businesses together. Go to whatif.com/group, and we want to invite you to join today. See you on the next episode of Harmonious at Lunch.